Hello Lightworkers, Wayshowers, Starseeds, change agents, and awakening beings everywhere. It's me, Lori Ann Spagna, here with you today to discuss an interesting concept from a mystical perspective about what's going on with Trump and the wall. I've had a lot of people write into me and ask, do you think Trump is a Lightworker? And here's what I get from my own higher guidance, inner guidance, source connection. And please understand, this is not a political statement at all. It's a mystical perspective about how the physical realm is impressing upon us that which is going on in the inner consciousness of the collective. Source represents, this is what I've received and this is how I will translate it. Donald Trump represents a being who's standing like a tower, Trump Tower concept, in between an old regime and a new regime. This is just a mystic perspective. And that the wall represents the line that cannot be crossed, the divider between the old regime and the new regime. The wall is symbolic in the sense of this wall divides the old patriarchy from the Lightworker ascending path, the path of ascension, the awakening beings, whose new official government, let's say, has not been fully birthed yet. And yet, the old regime cannot cross into this future that lies beyond the wall. So, from a mystic perspective, Trump is, in a sense, not the old regime. We do know, if you're a Lightworker, you know Trump is the first president since the 1900s who is not controlled by the Bilderbergs and the old global elites who controlled the patriarchy, that same family of elites, global elites, who also control the banking system and have controlled the banking system, and they've definitely interfered with the electronic currencies that are in the behind the scenes, sort of withering. They have controlled the schooling systems and the educational systems. They have, up until now, controlled the pharmaceutical drug industry, and to a greater or lesser extent still do. That includes all the medical institutions as well, all the schooling systems, the banking cartels, and of course all the money, including the Federal Reserve, which is a private bank owned by private bankers that are part of that Bilderberg global elite and all their family tribes of these old patriarchal systems. And I mean, all the systems they control, all of our systems. Who am I missing? Pharmaceutical, school, medical institutions, schooling systems, financial systems. I know I'm missing some, but all the big systems that we all rely on, right? Government, of course, especially executive branch of government in the United States, federal government, which is a private for-profit corporation. The United States government, this is in the Freedom of Information Act, is a for-profit corporation that's based in Puerto Rico and only has legal dominion over Washington, D.C., because it's not a state. Nonetheless, this old family of global elites, which of course is connected to all the other countries of all the old global elites, in the North American countries, their headquarters are in the private drug cartels in Mexico. So if we look at the mystical perspective, this wall is the wall that the Lightworkers, in a sense, are building. Trump is just a neutral guy. Is he working for the light? Is he working for the dark? People ask all the time. From my perspective, and from what I get from my consciousness, is that he's being manipulated by both. Both sides are playing him. He's in a sense not the old, not the new. He's kind of like not neutral, not impartial, being manipulated, coerced by both sides, and playing the part for both sides, just like the current Pope is. He's in one, in the other. He's drawing that line in between. So this wall is symbolic of the old system and the new system that has not fully been birthed. I realize that this is pretty out there, right? And that wall being built while in Trump's mind is, you know, some legacy that he wants to leave behind because he wants it to be seen by state, you know, space. That, of course, is not really, that's just ego stuff, right? And the idea that it actually is going to keep drug cartels and immigrants out is just, that's even ridiculous in concept. But the mystical, metaphysical, lightworker point of view is solid. If we can see it from this perspective, there's an old regime that cannot come into the future, cannot cross into where we are evolving into. And this wall is symbolic of the division between the old and the new that has not fully sort of resurrected, so to speak, yet, which resurrection is the year 2020, right? That's a 4 in sacred numerology. All right, I could spend another 20 minutes talking about this, but I think I'll leave it at that. I would love to hear what you think. I'd love to hear your comments and feedback. It's just more understanding it from the mystical perspective, how we as lightworkers understand everything in the physical reality is a reflection of what's going on within us, and that in reality, even our officials, our elected officials, are representatives of what the current collective consciousness is and how that's reflecting back at us. It's starting to rain here, so I'm going to sign off for now. I'm sending you so much love. I hope this has been insightful and helpful to you. Until next time, lots of love. Bye-bye.